All right, thanks, Colin. So it's just
Yeah, sure.
explaining a little bit about it, but I'll talk to you a little bit more about this technique that I've developed. So I use a different system. So coaching is the basics of it. It's the meat and bones of it. And I use the chakra system as a platform to coach. I don't know if you know anything about the chakra system.
I know a little bit about it. Isn't it a means of, it's like natural power within
Yeah.
within yourself?
Yeah, exactly. And we've got 7 main energy centers that run through our body, top of our head to the base of our spine, really. And each energy center represents a different theme in life. So the first energy center, which is the root chakra, all of our patterning that we receive from the ages of 0 to 7 are stored in that memory center, if you like. And what I do is I tune into you before we start our session energetically. And I use a system whereby I talk to your field, energy field, if you like, and I ask it questions about what's happening in your life right now, what emotion wants to be released, if you like, and it just gives me a little bit of an understanding. Now, the things that come up can be like long forgotten to you. It might not even be in your conscious thoughts, because our subconscious mind stores every experience that has happened to us and around us since the day we were born and before.
Mm.
So I might say things and you might consciously go, well, I'm not actually thinking or feeling that, but it's just what your energy field wants us to know.
Okay.
So I'll share with you what I found before we get into the coaching and just see. So what I ask is, like, how are you feeling at the minute? And it actually says that you're in good health. And I think it said that there was some conflict. There was a little bit of conflict, but generally you're in good health. Now, the
Yeah.
area of your life that's been affected is the area of your communication. It can be communication through colleagues, friends, family, any type of communication, business communication. It can also mean siblings as well, the mind as well. So it's anything to do with that. And I found the emotion of in your root chakra. So the root chakra governs the nervous system. It's the first one, like I say, between the ages of 0 to 7. It's taking on everything. We're like a sponge. We're absorbing everything in our environment. And I've got the emotion here of a mistake. So it's either you felt like you were a mistake, or life was a mistake, or there's some kind of emotion or energy around a mistake. Does
Yeah.
that resonate with you at all?
There's a few different things that I could think of that it would do with you.
Yeah. Okay. And I use the tarot cards, the major arcana, because they are great to show us symbols and archetypes. Famous psychologist Dr. Carl Jung, he was an advocate of the tarot and astrology because it presented to us our deeper psyche. And what I've got is the Death and Transformation card. This is about transformation.
Yeah.
And this is about seeing things differently. So it's saying something like you're going through a transformation, or a transformation has been blocked. What would you say would be more true with that?
I've 100% gone through a transformation.
Yeah.
Over the past several months, I've been going through a lot of hardship with a number of different things. Just seems to be so many things that have gone wrong. And as much as I try to make amends in different ways, it just I may have like a small bout of things that'll work out, and then all of a sudden it'll just come toppling down again. Almost like the way people say you go like 3 steps forward and 10 steps back. There's been a lot of that, more so in the past few months. It seems to be 10 steps forward and 2 steps back. So it's been getting a lot better. In myself, my personal fitness and mental fitness has become miles better. I still have some bouts. It is like I'm still in mental pain, and there's not much more I can do about that other than try different avenues of getting through that or past that. I do fully believe that you grow through what you go through, and I'm doing really well at the moment.
Good.
I like that.
Good, because this is about you seeing things differently, taking a different viewpoint on things, which is what it sounds like you're doing.
Yeah.
I also pulled this card, and you have to interpret this one for me, but what can you see that okay?
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
I'm a third year student. I'm doing biomedical science and infectious diseases, funny enough. So yeah, that's it'd look to be me in my lab coat with my glasses on, really.
That's so funny. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's you at the minute. I've got to say this. Like, are you tapped in? Like, are you quite spiritual?
Pretty much so now. For a long time, I've been very skeptical, and due to a lot that's happened over the past several months, I have looked into being more spiritual. I've looked into spiritualism, and I've done gong baths. I meditate at least twice a day, every morning and every evening. If I can do it an afternoon, I like the feeling of being grounded and in the present, rather than feeling anxious because I'm looking too far ahead, or depressed because I'm reliving the past. So all this has helped me become the person I am, more focused, driven, determined to succeed in life, and also self-discipline's been a huge thing that I've always been disciplined, but in regards to I'm disciplined in my routine now. I'm up bang between 4:30 and 5 in the morning. I go over my positive affirmations. I make sure I exercise before I go to the gym for an hour. I don't do an hour and then go for an hour. I'll do like say 20 minutes to 30 minutes just to wake up, really get myself set, and then I go to the gym for a good say good 45, 60 minutes. Get myself back, get ready for work. In my job, I'm a support worker, so that helps around university, like be able to shift hours around. And of an evening before I go to bed, I'll go over things as well, exercises. I'll also I read. I aspire to read at least a book a month.
Okay.
And that's all on personal development. I'm on it's Napoleon Hill.
Think and Grow Rich.
That's the one. Yeah. So I'm reading that at the moment. Before that, I've read quite a few books, and I read a lot of books anyway for what I do, the nature of what I do. But these specifically on me, because I know now that I've neglected myself for a long time. I've realised that even through I signed up for therapy through Talk Liverpool, because when I did realise that I was indeed depressed, looking more into myself and with doing meditation, it made me realise that it's not only for the past, say, 2 or 3 years that I've been depressed. It's been, I'd say, since I was in my early 20s. I'm 36 now. So it's been a long time, but it's taken like heartbreak and me to hit rock bottom with my life in January. That's made me realize that something needs to change. Which that's where, again, the transformational card kicks in.
I just feel like there's just something about you that is very in tune. Now, whether you recognize it or not yet, and that's up to you, whether you can, understand what I'm trying to say, but there's just something about your energy that makes me think that you are really intuitive.
Okay.
Do you ever recognize yourself as getting, we call it downloads, but just insights and information, and you would probably call it intuition or a gut feeling?
Consistently, yeah. I suppose that for what I do, not only in the job that I'm doing at the moment, working with different types of people from different backgrounds, mental health, I tend to, I'll pick up on a lot of things before other people will. Not just that, but with the likes of at home with my children or with friends, family. I tend to be, it's hard being the smartest person in the room a lot of the time. But yeah, it's just like, it's pretty easy to pick up on something. And given that I work with the micro, it's like with me parasitology, checking on any particular deadly diseases or infections from small parasites. I have done for quite a while. More so again over the past 7 months. I feel more like I've got a floodlight in the dark. That's the best way to describe it. I can see a lot more than a lot of other people would. If you kind of get what I mean. Yeah,
I definitely feel like I need to tell you this and make you aware of it. Like I didn't think that this is what I was going to be saying to you. I never know what I'm going to say, but and sometimes I don't know whether to say it or not, but I just feel like I've got to tell you that you do have something really special there, and it's good that you recognize it. Otherwise you're going to think I'm a complete weirdo saying that to you. 1 second, let me just plug my computer in.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, should have made sure that was done. Hang on a sec.
No, it's okay.
This computer's bloody ancient. That's it. Yeah, so I just feel that you've got something, you're really gifted in that way, and I'm sure you will become more aware of it now. I've brought it to your attention that that's what it is. But I just feel that there's definitely something special about what you've got. And I know you've been through trauma. I know that. And quite often when we are so sensitive to energy and things like that, that can actually come through having trauma as well, because your senses are heightened, and we use a sense or inner sense that children who are not experiencing any pain or any trauma, and it doesn't have to be like a war zone trauma for us to have trauma, but when we are in a bit of fight or flight, we tend to use a different sense, and that's our sixth sense, our intuitive sense. And so through having experiences of pain and trauma, this sense inside us can actually grow and develop.
Okay. I
When
definitely feel that something like I'm more honed in on things only since everything that's happened. I tend to be more alert, a lot quicker to respond with things. So yeah, that does make sense.
what's the significance of this tattoo here?
Which one? Sorry.
What's the significance of the tattoo on your neck?
Oh, it's mandala lotus.
Yeah.
So what it symbolises is it's the change or growth in spirit and body. So I just thought it was quite fitting, given that everything that had gone on. Given that I am more spiritual, I do believe in law of attraction and the way that the universe has something unique for each and every one of us. I'd never thought that I'd ever say anything like that, ever, until working on things and being more focused and in tune with actually going on in and around me. So that being as close as it is to my heart, and not only that, it was a bit of a when I was at a low. It was only, when was it? I got it done Tuesday, just gone.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's still a little bit tense, like, but when I consulted like the tattoo artist, it was a case of having it further up, which given me profession, it doesn't look too professional. Having it further down across my chest, I was thinking I didn't really, I don't know, it just wasn't really for me. But to have it right in the middle, I've not seen anyone with one uniquely placed. Also, there was so many people, oh, why would you get that? It hurt. And I was thinking, well, it's kind of the point of me getting it is I want it to hurt, because pain helps you feel you're alive. And I know it's how you use the pain, not necessarily as, oh, woe is me kind of thing. But it was like, when I did get it done, for the amount of people saying that was going to hurt, I meditated while I was getting it done, and it's the best one that I've had done. And as you can tell, I've got quite a few, only just by my hand, you can see. But yeah, it was great, like really, really well, and to the point that people thought I was messing about. Like, oh no, it really hurts, and it was, no, it didn't actually. But that in itself made me realize that if I focus on just pain, it's gonna hurt. But by using meditation as a distraction, I can alleviate a lot of that pain. So it was just something that I was gonna try. It was a last minute thing for me to say I wanted it there. Right. Otherwise, I was gonna get my other hand done.
Yeah.
And I just thought, well, let's test this. So again, believing that I can work with this pain, and ta-da, yeah.
Good for you, and that's so true on meditation. It's funny because the lotus flower represents the chakra. A lotus flower is born from dirty, muddy water, sludge, and out of it forms this beautiful lotus flower. And the lotus flowers represent the chakra system, so that's interesting.
Yeah, coincidence.
Yeah.
So, saying that, I don't believe in coincidences anymore.
No.
Because it's just the word a lot of people use, and they don't know the accurate meaning for it. So it's just like a lot of things that get used and thrown about.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of it was out of a lot of images. I don't know if you've heard of Idrisil.
No.
The Tree of Life. I think that's a similar representation behind me.
Beautiful.
But that's initially what I was going to either get on my hand or on like my chest. That it just, trees resembling life and growth of anything. Yeah. But then it was just by chance. I'd looked at one of these lotus flowers a long time ago, and I seen one image, and I just thought, I'm getting that instead. And
I like it.
So it did.
Really cool. I like it a lot. All right. So Where would you like to take this conversation? If we could make it a really transformative conversation, where would you like to focus?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. See, I know with the likes of say personal development wise, anything that could possibly help me with the likes of that. Because every day that I get up, I ask myself two questions. Well, say two questions. I tend to ask, how am I going to grow today? Whichever way that may be, and that great things are supposed to happen to me every day. So I look forward to helping anyone I can do, and in the slightest way, even if it's just a passing smile, because I believe that no matter how miserable someone is, if they see me smile at them and they just go, what's he smiling at? I've planted a seed because they're thinking about the smile, or I will get a smile back, and then they'll smile at somebody else, and just that alone could lift someone's day.
Okay, I want to talk about, because I know that you've got great potential, and what I want to do is I want to know what it is that you want to create in your life. But I also want to know, because I want to help you with it, is what is this other side that can potentially sabotage that? And I'm just going to be frank with you, okay?
Okay.
I think this other side of you is that emotion that we picked up on before, a mistake. I think at some point you felt worthless.
Yeah.
And I think that's come from childhood, not from adulthood. I think that's come from an early age.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to focus on, because your potential and your mind is so great, and I strongly believe in you, but I want you to make this goal that you're aiming for in your life the biggest. See how the tree is? That needs to become your main focus. We all have a saboteur. We all have limiting beliefs. I'll tell you a little bit about me, just so you know where I'm coming from. So I won't go on too long about me, but I was adopted as a baby, and I was christened a completely different name to what I have now. And I was adopted at 6 months old, given another name. So my identity was kind of shattered, if you like. I was told early on I was adopted around the age of 3. My identity again got shattered. I didn't get on with my adopted parents due to whatever reasons, and I was placed back into the care system at the age of 11. My identity and my lovability, my self-worth was completely torn and shattered. So I didn't believe that I was lovable. I thought I was damaged. I hated myself. I hated myself when I looked in the mirror. At a core level, I blamed myself for everything that was happening to me. So I would run away. I would sleep on the streets. Like, I had a lot of horrible things happen to me. And my life could have been very, very different to what it is now. So I've been through pain and I've been through trauma, but I also know that I can depend on my spirit and my soul to get me through, because there's a greater purpose to my existence. Now, I believe that you feel like that too.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've found my purpose and my passion and my meaning for life. I want to make sure that you've found yours.
Okay.
So tell me about what it is, your highest ideals that you want to create, or the service that you want to bring to the world. What is it? What are you about?
I just want to save lives, save the world, any way and every way I can do. So from the likes of like deadly infections or parasites that I work with, the likes of dengue fever, yellow fever, Zika virus, Ebola, anything like that. I want to be able to treat and eradicate these illnesses, as many people as I can save. I believe that I've always been bigger than myself. I've always looked at it as that, well, say if someone was down, I'd do my best to crack a smile, help them out in whatever way. And I just think, but I need more than that. I can give more than that. And that's what I want to do. Yeah, want to save the world.
How does it look to you when you think about that, giving more and being more? Like when you get an image of that or a feeling, how could you describe it to me? What does it look like?
Not too sure, really. Didn't think of that. Almost like like you could fly anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I know it might sound a little bit silly, but yeah, like a case of just, it's just popped into my head, almost like a superhero type thing. I could just, I'll be able to get somewhere and help someone out, and then go to the next and just keep traveling.
Yeah. So when you picture that, when you picture that, if it were a movie, what would it be called?
Oh, that's an obscure one. I'm not sure. I can't think of. I suppose like the faceless hero, something like that, because I don't want any credit back. I just want to help. So it's not a case of of personal gain, of monetary value. I get personal gain from knowing I've helped someone. So that in itself is enough. But I wouldn't want anyone to think, oh well, I'd be kind of very blasé, showing off. Oh, I do this. I've done that for someone. I wouldn't. It's not something that I'd promote. Other than, well, if you need any help with something, I'd be able to help you out. Not, well, I've done really well with this and everything else, and be very ego driven. That's not something that I am.
Okay, so when you tap into that, what was it called again? The faceless superhero.
Hero, yeah.
The faceless hero, yeah. Okay. So
that just popped in there. Then, by the way,
no. Oh, you got to look. Right. Have you got a pen? I want you to remember what you just said.
Yeah. Give us 1 second. Say that. I'll remember that. Yeah, I'll remember that.
I want you to remember that, because this is an archetype. This is an energy. And as we know, energies work through us, so we can have the superhero energy that makes us feel empowered, and we can have the opposite energy that we can slip into when these beliefs start to kick in, or having a shit day. We can quite easily step into the archetype of the opposite version of the superhero, which we'll talk about in a sec.
Okay.
But the thing that I think is important is we have to create something that really we connect with on a heart level, whether it's that that tree behind you, and you can connect with that every day, or you create a piece of artwork or a vision board, or you just scribble down notes and stick it up somewhere, just to connect with that archetype every day, so you start to feel that power of the superhero.
Okay.
How would that feel if you did that?
Yeah, I suppose it reaffirms that thought, and it's thought into the physical then, isn't it? It's creating something more tangible. And that was one of the reasons that I was looking to get the tattoo, was that it's so on me, within me already. Well, it's already within me, but then it's almost like a brand, you know, that I can see, I can feel it, but I can see it as well. So yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. Because when we start to slip, we because we have these beliefs for so long. Like a belief is like something that we believe to be true. People find it quite hard to change their beliefs because we've had them for like 30, 40 years or whatever.
Yeah.
We can't just get rid of them like that. We can, but we just choose to make it hard for ourselves.
Yeah.
So tuning into something, it has to be believable for you. So if you were to write down your purpose, like what you're passionate about, what this superhero does, like why he does what he does, what are the values that this superhero have got, things that you can really connect to, that you know are part of you. What does the opposite of that look like when you go into this other side of you, this other energy plays out through you, where you start to like go on a bit of a downward spiral? What does that look like?
I suppose to put it in like in almost a vision, it's like a thunderstorm. Dark, cold, wet, loud at times, and it's just me, like almost in like the eye of a storm. It's all going on around me, and I'm just trapped. Like no matter each way I aim to move forward, I almost end up like I'm in the same place. It just, I don't seem to be able to escape. It's like almost like a prison of my own creation.
And what does that do to, like, what's the narrative that goes on in your head? What's the self-talk when you're in that situation?
That I just need to hide. It's almost like a bury your head in the sand type situation. It's just like, okay, it'll pass. Sorry, it'll pass, but I know it won't. And the way I've come to be now is that it's like, okay, it's not gonna pass right now, but let's take a bit of time and let's just sit with the feelings, identify what feelings that you're going through, and how can I work with this rather than I can't work with this. So yeah.
Well done. That's really good. If the root cause of this, right? If you got to the eye of the storm and that had roots, where would those roots stem back to?
A long time. Let's say easy when I was maybe around the ages of 4 or 5.
I'd say even 3. What was happening?
It's been difficult, but it's made me the person. It's give me a platform to work from. Getting older.
What were the beliefs that you took on at that age about yourself?
Well, to put into perspective, me mum, say, within the past few years, in front of my son, turned to me and said, you know, you were a mistake. And he just looked at me like almost jaw on the floor and was just like, whoa, I don't know what to do. And you can see it in his face, and he says, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I am. That's fine." I didn't know how I felt at the time. I think because I was like, almost, well, okay, well, you've just confirmed what I've been thinking for so many years. Maybe you're all right, but I've got me kids here, and they need me, so that can't be a mistake. And I suppose that's the only thing that I've had that kept me going for so long, having me kids. Is I used them as an anchor, pretty much.
And were you always made to feel that way in some subtle way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was always, why you can do better? Why can't you do better? You need to try harder. It's pretty much what I've had right throughout school, and even as a young adult, just consistently.
Yeah, that's so interesting, because it comes down to a little bit like me, feeling that you deserve your place in the world. Yeah, absolutely. I can totally identify with that. It's such a big one. It's such a big one, because it's almost like you feel abandoned by your spiritual mother and father when you feel that way.
It does make you feel insignificant in every way.
It does, yeah. And all that what it means is you just have to work a little bit harder to understand the nature of who you really are.
Yeah.
And you have to see your parents for who, bit like seeing yourself for who they really are, because they have a spiritual nature too. But their human side, their conditioning, their level of consciousness is not to the same as yours. And it's
something that I've realized recently,
yeah.
which is again strange, but there's just like, it's almost like from January, like beginning of January, there was one day in particular that it was the end of my relationship with my long-term partner. I put all my work aside, and just thought, just something doesn't feel right. Like, it hasn't felt right for a long time. It was like something just within me doesn't feel right. And I put all my work aside and have the kids for this one particular day. I was like, right, okay, take the day off and just sit with your thoughts and your feelings. And I'd say just within an hour, it was like a million light bulbs all lit up at once. And I thought, oh shit, what have I done? Everything fell into place. It was a really strange feeling, that so much clarity. I was like almost like a dark star that just, I was like, oh look, there's your life. What are you gonna do?
Wow.
And yeah, it was like, something needs to change, and I just didn't know what to do, how to deal with it, where to start. And it was hard, so difficult. Even now, I've dubbed it as the best experience of my life so far.
Yeah.
But I believe that it had to happen at some point. I'm just glad that it's happened now, rather than me kind of bury my head, and maybe this not happen for so many more years, and then it be, I don't know, kind of like a deathbed moment. And it sounds a little bit morbid, like, but and I look back and go, well, what have I done with my life? All I've done is hide. Whereas now I'm like, stuff that. No, I'm not hiding anymore. And I've accomplished so much over these 9 months. I never seen myself at this place where I am now, and in so much pain still. But I've achieved so much because of the pain being a driving force. I'd like it to go. Motivation for me now. I'm using what I've got rather than just sit and dwell and feel like, oh, woe is me. It's like, well, no, okay, how can I positively use this pain as a driving force to get me through the day? What can I do to grow today? What can I want more for me.
Okay, let's try this. Just something that I'm just feeling that would benefit you. Like, let me just think a minute. Yeah, so your purpose, that the thing that you know that you're destined for, that has to become absolutely core. I know it is anyway, but this conversation is just highlighting it to you. That purpose that you have, that meaning, the reason why you're here, the reason why you're absolutely not a mistake, and no one obviously ever is, you have to really cultivate that now, and you have to start owning that even more. Like, the time is now, there's no more messing around. I know you're going to have dark days. We all do. I do, everybody does. And you've got the ability to allow that to be without trying to force it or suppress it. It's just a great thing that you can do, is to go, okay, come on then, just be there. I know you'll pass eventually. That's great. But now it's to stop messing about. That's going to happen, and that's absolutely fine. There has to be a level of flexibility and acceptance to everything that we're going to feel and experience, because none of us know what's going to happen tomorrow. But your purpose and your meaning has to be the motivation and the driving force, that despite whatever, that's what you're here for. I think what would be beneficial is, now that's so interesting that came out today, that sentence, a mistake, given what you've just told me. Now, I don't know if you want to do this now or you want to do this in your own space, but there's something called conscious streaming, which is where you just go into a light meditation and you just allow a conscious stream to flow through you. And I think it would be beneficial for you to start the sentence, "I'm not a mistake because," and just let all these thoughts just flow, and write them down and write them down. Now, you can either do it now with me or you can do it off camera. It's up to you.
I'm happy to. I'm not shy. Okay. I'll give anything a go. Yeah.
All right.
Within reason.
Yeah. Don't worry. I'm not going to ask you to get naked. All right. Okay. So do you want to write it down, or do you just want to speak it?
I don't mind speaking it.
Okay, cool.
I'm comfortable. I've heard it for so long. I'm comfortable with saying it out myself.
Okay.
And be resilient to it.
Okay. So we're gonna let a conscious stream come through. So we're gonna tap into your spiritual self, and we're gonna let that higher self talk through you. So it's kind of like getting out your conscious mind, letting that move out the way. We're stepping into the creative side of you that opens up to its spiritual self, and we're gonna just let whatever comes through you to be said, but it's all based around the truth of who you are. So the non-truth of who you are is that you are a mistake. Okay, that's the non-truth. So we're going to tap into the truth of who you are, and we're going to start this conscious stream by saying, "I'm not a mistake because," and then you're just going to say whatever the hell you want, okay? But it's always staying in alignment with the truth of who you are. Now, I'm giving you permission, so you need to give yourself permission to step out your comfort zone. If it feels like you're becoming egotistical or bigging yourself up, I want you to do it even more, because this is the truth of who you are. There's no judgment at all.
Okay.
There is no ego, really. That's the human self. The spiritual self does not have an ego because it knows and recognizes the truth of who they are. So this is the energy that we'll step into now. Okay. So if it's all right with you, just close your eyes. So start to take some nice deep breaths. I think you said you meditate anyway, is that right? So
yeah.
you know how to get in the zone. So just start to take your breathing into the heart center, so you become aware of your heart and your breath, breathing through the heart. And just start to take everything from outside of you and become aware of the inner senses. And it's probably helpful to imagine that your feet, which are placed on the floor, start to grow roots just like the tree. And those roots spread deep into the core earth, and they just stabilize you and ground you. And just to start to take the awareness of the energy from your heart and expand that energy all around your body so it encases you in a bubble of light. And it's just such a beautiful thing that you had that mandala tattooed on that area of your body, because that represents your throat chakra. And this is exactly what we're going to communicate with today. We're going to allow your higher self to talk through you. And everything that comes from the throat chakra creates who you are. It creates your reality, whether it's the spoken word or the words that we say internally. So just take your awareness now to the top of the head. And as babies, we all have this little soft spot. And that soft spot is where our spirit or our soul enters the physical body. And just imagine that soft spot. You might sense some tingling or just some energy just happening at the top of the head. And just imagine a vortex of energy, like a cone. A bit like that tree that's behind you. It's like a vortex of energy that radiates out through the top of the head. And just imagine that is like a whirlpool of light. And as it opens, you can just set the intention to invite down your true nature, your spiritual self, just to come a lot closer into the body, so it's given a voice as you allow the truth of who you are to be spoken through your word. And I'm going to start this conscious streaming by saying the sentence, and I want you to repeat this sentence after me. I am not a mistake because.
I am not a mistake because.
And then you just say whatever comes out now. Just allow your higher self to tell you all the reasons why you're not a mistake.
I am focused. I am determined. I am passionate. I am loved. I am the greatest. There's no one better than me. I am everything I need to be right now and more. I am healthy. I am hardworking. I'm a good parent. I am networked. I am inspirational.
Keep going. I am not a mistake because.
I am not a mistake because.
Just feel that energy coming down through your head. It's the truth of who you are. I'm not a mistake because.
I am not a mistake because. I work on helping others. I put others before myself. I am kind. I am resourceful. I am focused. I'm a kind spirit. I believe in myself. Great things are supposed to happen to me. I can. I will. I must. I am not a mistake.
And now repeat this sentence. I deserve to be here because.
I deserve to be here because. I am proud of who I am. I will succeed in everything that I set in life.
And just repeat this and tell me what your greatest purpose is and just let it flow through. I deserve to be here because.
I deserve to be here because. I exist to be happy and to bring happiness to others.
Anything else? Okay. Just keeping that energy vortex open. I just want you to imagine that you get a sense of, we're going to call in your spiritual mother and your spiritual father. And I just want you to get a sense of your spiritual father coming closer to you on your right hand side. I just want you to get a sense of what the true meaning of a father feels like, and the true meaning that you are spiritually loved and taken care of, that you're guided. And just feel what it feels like to be in the presence of your spiritual father. And just feel the gentle force that this magnificent spiritual father can give to you. And then on the left side, get a sense of your spiritual mother coming to touch you on your shoulder, to give you the love and support and nurture. It's your birthright to feel. And in each one of us, we have a male and female quality. It's called our yin and yang. And sometimes in life, when we come to this human existence and we have to experience all the pleasures and pain that earth brings, we can lose a certain aspect of us. We can lose our feminine quality or our male quality. Just want you to bring the two together into a big ball of energy right in the middle of your stomach. This is your power center. And I just want you to merge the two energies of the spiritual father and the spiritual mother together in one big ball. You can imagine it as a ball of light if that helps. So you have strength, motivation, right action, right decisions, discipline, and power, merged with nurturing, comfort, love, support, and empathy and compassion. As you integrate that into your whole being, it makes you feel whole, empowered, motivated, and safe. Knowing that your place on this earth was meant to be. Everything that you want to do, the potential that you have for greatness has always been there. And every experience you have, you learn from. And all this learning gives you gifts. And these gifts are the things that you'll share. You'll share with others to transform their life, which will make you the best father, the best man, the best partner that you can be. And just imagine that energy at the top of your head just coming down to rest just an inch or two above the soft spot of the head, just so we bring some balance back. And just imagine that being sealed off. And just take a couple of nice deep breaths. And when you feel ready, you can just open your eyes and be back with me. How was that?
Good.
How are you feeling?
Strangely enough, I've had one tear roll down my face, which is really strange. For it to just be one side. But yeah, good.
Good. So just sit with that, process that. If you feel you need to write stuff down or do whatever, do it.
Okay.
And if you want to contact me outside of this session for anything, then, you know, there's my invitation to take me up on it, okay?
Thank you.
All
Appreciate
right,
that.
I love it. It was absolute pleasure to talk with you, okay?
Oh, thank you, and you.
Take care.
And you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.